Additions, deletions, or comments to the minutes?
There's a couple of an addition and a correction that I found this morning. On the budget amendments, it's not on there, and we had budget amendments last week. And I made the motion for the amendments, and Commissioner Richardson seconded it. And then also on the payment of bills, it says that I made the motion and Commissioner Richardson seconded it, but it should be reversed.
Any other comments? Can I suggest to the court that we go ahead and table these minutes and to allow for the clerk to make corrections instead of our customary amendment given of the 2 or 3 items that we have? If so, I'll entertain that motion.
So move to approve.
No.
Table.
Oh, table.
Second.
I'm approving to table it.
A motion by Commissioner Tooley, second by Commissioner Spivey to table the minutes of July the 2nd, 2024. All those in favor? It passes unanimously. Item number 2 is consider and take action to accept donation of spoil road materials from Brownsboro ISD. Commissioner McCann.
Yes, I was contacted by the construction superintendent, and I contacted Jeff Howard, Doc Howard, Director of Operations. They want to donate the spoiled asphalt and concrete riprap that they're removing from the school area to the county, and I wanted to bring it to court to get that okayed.
Court questions? If not, entertain a motion.
I make the motion that we accept the donation of spoiled and asphalt concrete riprap from Brownsboro ISD.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner McCann and seconded by Commissioner Richardson to approve the acceptance of the donation of spoiled asphalt, concrete, and riprap from Brownsboro ISD. Any further discussion? All those in favor? It passes unanimously. Item number 3 is receive financial reports, and we have our monthly financial reports from our judicial system and our clerk's offices. These are available for review after court in the county clerk's office. Item number 4 is consider and take action on payroll distributions and accounts cash sheet, which we have none today. Item number 5 is consider and take action on submitted contracts, and there are none. Item number 6 is consider and take action on requests for right-of-way permits. Okay. Commissioner Tooley.
Yes, Court. This is from the East Cedar Creek Freshwater Supply District. It was a 2-inch sewer main. It was an emergency at 113 Camelot.
Questions for the commissioner?
Hearing none, I move we approve the right-of-way line activity for East Cedar Creek Freshwater District at 113 Camelot on a 2-inch sewer main with the commissioner's authorization to sign.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Tooley and seconded by Commissioner McCann to approve the right-of-way agreement with East Cedar Creek Freshwater Supply District for the emergency repairs of 2-inch sewer main at 113 Camelot, located in Precinct 2, with the Commissioner's authorization to sign. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimously.
Thanks, Court.
Commissioner McCann?
I have one from Leagueville Water Supply Company. They're going to make 3 bores, 2 6-inch bores and 1 2-inch bore, for 2 6-inch bores with casing and 2 for the 2-inch bore will be for service on County Road 3606.
Questions for the commissioner? Entertain a motion.
I make the motion that we approve the proposed utility line activity for Leagueville Water Supply Corporation for 3 bores on County Road 3606
I'll second the motion.
Authorization.
with the commissioner's authorization to sign.
Motion made by Commissioner McCam, second by Commissioner Richardson to approve the right-of-way agreement with Leagueville Water Supply Corporation for 3 bores along County Road 3606 with the Commissioner's authorization to sign. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Commissioner?
I also have one from Encore Electric Delivery on County Road 3623. You can look in the backup. They're installing UG 1000 KC mill cubic feeder exit and 6-inch conduit from the new feeder breaker to the terminal pole across the road. They're redoing that substation on 3623 where all these lines are going through.
Questions for the Commissioner?
Hearing none, I'd make the motion that we approve the proposed utility line activity for Encore Electric Delivery for a bore on County Road 3623 with a commissioner's signature.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner McCam, second by Commissioner Tooley to approve the right-of-way agreement with Encore Electric Delivery for road bore along County Road 3623 with the Commissioner's authorization to sign. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Item number 7 is consider and take action on submitted budget amendments, of which we have none. Item 8 is consider and take action on payment of bills. Ms. Carpenter.
Yes, ma'am. We have fiscal year 2024 in the amount of $229,449.04.
Commissioner Spivey, questions?
I have no questions, Judge.
Commissioner Tooley.
I have none.
Commissioner McCam.
No question.
Commissioner Richardson.
Yes, we found an error in there on the payment for public waste, discrepancy in the billing. And I think we've talked to Letitia about that. If we approve this, do we need to deduct that from the total bill?
Okay, just reissue it with the correct
So if we just approve the bills like they are?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. No other questions, Judge?
Thank you. Entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the fiscal year 2024 bills in the amount of $229,449.04 as presented.
I'll second his motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Richardson and second by Commissioner Spivey to approve the bills in the amount of $229,449.04 as presented. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Item number 9, consider and take action on submitted plats.
We have one plat for precinct 4 and all these are paid.
Commissioner Richardson?
Yes, Court, it's come to my attention that we're deficient in one item on this plat, and that would be the bond. So we're looking at tabling this plat until July the 30th. Mr. Denninghoff would like to speak on behalf of the developer about what's going on and stuff that they're on this platting.
Okay. Before we invite him up, is there any comments or questions from the court? All right. Please, if you would, please come to the podium and introduce yourself and visit with us about this development.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, my name's Mike Denninghoff. We submitted this plat last week, and unfortunately we were unable to get the bond here today. There was a confusion with the surety, and the surety approved a bond for $1.8 million, but not for the additional $2.7 million, and they had called in to Joy, and I'm very thankful for her help on this. She's been great. But they were unable to issue the other $2.7 million because of a point of confusion and the tight timeline of trying to get it issued in 2 days. So we went to the bank to try to get a letter of credit to try to be able to push it through that way. And the bank could not do it in a day because they had to send it off to FDIC to get approval. And so because it's going to a governmental entity. And so we were unable to have everything in today, unfortunately. But we're doing everything in our power to get that done as soon as possible. The other matter is that we had already scheduled a sale of the property for July 13th, which had been scheduled for some time. And there was a lot of concern over that due to the marketing that it went into that, which is extensive. I don't know if you've seen any of the marketing. There's been quite a bit. But we want to move forward with the sale, but do contracts in which the contracts say, this is a proposed subdivision. The plat has not been approved yet by the Commissioner's Court. We hope to have it within 60 days. And if, that doesn't happen, then they have the ability to back out of the transaction. But we know that we cannot close on any transactions until we have your full approval.
Court, questions?
See if the county attorneys wants to speak on it.
Good morning, Court. Ken Strawn, County Attorney's Office. I've listened to Mr. Denninghoff. Typically, pre-sales are kind of frowned upon. There's really going to be two issues with the pre-sale. One issue with the pre-sale is that if any of those close prior to court's approval of the plat, then the plat that was submitted is incorrect because it's not going to be as presented. So that's kind of one issue, making sure that that plat that is submitted is correct if there's pre-sales. And then the other issue isn't really for the county, it's mostly for the third parties. What are they selling? What's in this contract? Because it's not platted, how is this land divided? Because right now it's many acres, but if they're selling 2 acres to tract 42, but that hasn't been approved by the court, then what are they selling? And so that would be an issue really for the third party. However, with Mr. Denninghoff's kind of conditions in there, I don't necessarily see an issue with that. That would be between the parties and not between the county. And so as long as nothing closes before potential approval, I don't see an issue with any pre-sales, as long as it is conditioned, as Mr. Denninghoff stated to the court.
Okay. And if I could, we have, with the changes in state law, we have 30 days that we have to take action on this.
Correct.
Given that, tabling it in that time frames to allow them the opportunity to get in what it is, we will need to take action this month to definitively, one way or the other,
Correct.
on this to be in compliance with statute, correct?
Yes, we have to approve, disapprove, or approve with conditions within 30 days.
Questions? Court?
What bond, what, they got 1.7 but couldn't get to 2.3?
So the total bond amount is somewhere around 4.5 million. The developers asked if they could split that total, one kind of for roads and maybe one for utilities. There's different things within this bond. We're okay splitting those bonds as long as the total amount equals that 4.5 million.
Yeah.
They've only been able to come up with the 1.8 or 1.7. There could have been phased bonds, but then the plat as presented would have been incorrect. So they could have done a phase 1 with 50 tracts with a lower bond amount and then timed it that way. But the way the plat's been submitted, I think it's 11 pages. It's a complete plat. And so that's why the county, well, it'd be up to you all, but I think that's why the county would prefer that total bond. And typically we're looking at a minimum of 100%, but usually with developers, the county's usually looking at 120%. So.
And I think that's what the confusion came in, was they were wanting to split the bond, but we were wanting all the bond at one time in 2 separate bonds, and they were more thinking about the bond company was sending part of the bond and then at a later date doing the rest of the bond, and that wasn't how we wanted it. So
We can split the bond amount, but the timing of it shouldn't be split unless it's phased. Correct.
And would you restate the conditions of the pre-sale?
Yes, sir. So the conditions of the pre-sale are that this is a proposed subdivision. It's not approved by the Commissioners Court. That this is a contract to purchase a lot in this development. That it will, we have 60 days to do that. If we do not get a final plat approval within 60 days, then they can back out from the transaction. And also, we put a condition in there that says that this is potentially subject to change if the Commissioners Court has an issue with something in the plat. In which case, we can try to mutually negotiate to acceptable terms, but if they want to back out, they're able to back out in that case as well.
Any other questions?
So what's the difference of doing it the way that the contract says, then just wait until July the 30th to close?
The issue is that we've already spent a very substantial amount of money on marketing to send out mailers and to do ads online that we cannot recuperate. We've also scheduled 120 sales agents to be on the site and rented cars and hotels for them and bought flights because they come from other parts. And it would be a massive loss otherwise.
County Attorney. Is that a decision that the court has to make? Is this, if there's no money exchanging?
That has nothing to do with the county, so that'd be between the third parties. So
Okay.
the court's fine. The only issue is if they do close between now and the court date, their plat would be incorrect as presented. So I don't think that's going to be an issue in this case.
Okay, so I mean, that's totally something that the court wouldn't have to make a decision on. It's just if they do have the exchange of money, then the plat would be negated.
They can exchange money as long as they don't close and have an instrument.
Close on the contract.
Yeah, if it's closed and there's an instrument, then that plat is presented as incorrect.
Okay.
If they have some kind of trust where they put the money towards this third party, and then there's a way to get that refund or however they negotiate it, that would be between the parties and not the court. So we wouldn't have to worry about that.
Okay.
Any other questions? Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thanks, Stephen.
Judge, you mind if I
Speak.
address the
Would you like to? Yes, sir. If you would introduce yourself so the
Yes, sir.
crowd understands.
Steve Freeman, Freeman Surveying. I'm the surveyor of record on this project. Y'all may remember me from the Legacy Shore project that's next door to this project. One thing, this has been a great project to work for. Very similar, I think, upstanding developer that we're dealing with here also. Similar to that other project, maybe not, as seasoned as the other one, but is, familiar with the development area. Just a suggestion for the court's consideration. County attorney already made reference to it. The court can consider approving this with conditions of the bond being accepted approved by the county attorney and the judge at a later date, if they wish to do so. That was one thing I wanted to state. Other than that, I'm available for questions.
Court, questions? All right, thank you. Discussion, court? If there is no discussion, entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to table this plat until July the 30th.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Richardson, second by Commissioner Spivey to table the Lake Towns at Lake Palestine final plat until July 30th. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Item 10 is open and consider bids, and we have none. And item 11 is consider and take action to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion by Commissioner Tooley, second by Commissioner Richardson to adjourn at 9:21. As far as in any further discussion, we will be reconvening into a workshop at 9:45 to discuss insurance and ARPA. If there's nothing further.
We have no court next week.
Oh, yes, and we have no court next week due to the court being at conference. So if there's nothing further or no additional comments, all those in favor to adjourn. Passes unanimously at 9:22.